Today we are going to look into the next adventure that you are about to embark upon. So if you are interested in seeing what Spirit has in store for you on your journey next, then stay tuned. We have 3 piles to choose from in today's reading, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you already know which pile is talking to you, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are a bit unsure how to go about choosing the pile for you, then just a few of my recommendations would be to first close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, get as calm and centered and present in this moment as you possibly can, so that you could really tune into what is going on within your body. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? Maybe you are hearing something, maybe you are seeing something as you look at these piles that would give you a clue as to which pile is pulling you towards its energy the most. As always, trust your intuitive voice, however it speaks to you. But as I also always say, please use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And now, without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so happy to welcome you to another reading on this channel. So thank you so much for being here, and also thank you for any support that you have shown me and this channel. But let's get straight to the reading. So we have some pre-prepared oracle cards, as is the norm, and we're going to look at those in just a bit. First, I want to see what I'm picking up on this card intuitively, and looking at the card that you chose, pile number 1, which says, "Wish upon a star, I am made from the stuff of stars, I matter." The energy that I'm picking up on from this card is making me feel like you could be in a place right now where you are trying to figure out how you fit into some sort of a bigger system or bigger dynamic. It feels like you are asking quite a lot of these existential or big questions right now. You could be doing a lot of praying or doing a lot of soul searching and trying to connect to some divine forces as well, because it feels like you are trying to come up with an answer. You're trying to understand yourself, your purpose, how you fit into everything. And there is something about trying to discover your why. It almost is giving me the feeling that you are trying to elevate your own energy, your energetical vibration to this level to match some sort of dream of yours or something that you are trying to attain. So that could be, fitting into a specific collective or like a work group, or matching the vibration of your ideal partner, or becoming the sort of person that you yourself would like to date, or trying to change your lifestyle, trying to change your mindset or your habits so that you could attract the sort of things into your life that would allow you to create the life of your dreams, or how you believe that your life could be. But regardless of which context this card is talking to you specifically, I feel like there is definitely some sort of larger group or larger energy, some sort of larger picture or vision that you are trying to fit into, and that you seem to be doing your best to understand what you can do, or how you can adapt, how you can change yourself, how you can grow or challenge yourself to move out of certain habits so that you could reach this vision, or so that you could, again, up level your energy, reach some sort of potential that you know is within you, and become like the thing that you want to have, or become the person who would have that sort of ideal vision that you are aiming towards. And also some of you could just be looking for some sort of divine support or looking for any signs to give you an indication that you are on the right path or that you are doing the right thing, or to give you clues regarding what you need to do or what is the right thing for you to do. You seem to be trying to communicate with some sort of spiritual energies or these forces that are bigger than you. That is what I'm feeling from this card. It has a very like celestial energy about it, but it also has a very big energy about it, which is why I feel like it's not specifically talking about just you. It seems to be talking about you and how you fit into something bigger. But anyway, that is just the intuitive part. Let's look at these oracle cards, which are going to give us hopefully a clearer understanding of what is the situation that you are currently in. So if you listen to these intuitive messages and you're still a bit unsure whether this is your pile, stick around for the oracle card part as well, because by the end of it, it should be rather clear whether this is your pile or not. Okay, we have the waterfall, amputation saw, love, bats, and the lamb. I am looking at the waterfall card and the amputation saw, and the message that I'm hearing is that you seem to feel cut off from something. With the waterfall, it's giving me the confirmation that this feeling of you trying to see how you fit into something bigger than you, that seems to be coming through rather strongly here. The waterfall seems to be a metaphor for some sort of bigger group, or again, this larger picture of yours. Again, whether this is a dream family scenario or situation or dynamic for you, whether this is just a dream relationship scenario, whether this is you wanting to belong to a certain group of people, or wanting to find like-minded people, or wanting to, again, like win ground or develop or reach further in some sort of group of co-workers. I don't know, I'm getting more of a specific message, but for some of you, it definitely feels with this energy that you have recently started at a new job and you seem to be like the new kid or the new employee. And so it feels like you are still trying to figure out how you fit into the culture that is present there, how you fit into the relationship dynamics and the whole collective, and how people talk to each other there, and how the relationships are, and how the power hierarchies are, and all of that. You seem to be in that energy and trying to figure everything out. But again, that is definitely more of a specific message. More broadly though, as I said, this feels like you are feeling somewhat detached, or like you are standing out of this picture, like outside of it, and you are looking in, trying to see how things work, or what is the underlying like thread or connection that you could like resonate with, or again, what you need to do to get there. Because at the center card here, we have this love energy. And so clearly there is something about this dynamic or this situation that you are aspiring to, something that is pulling at your heartstrings, something that is making you feel something deeply. Again, with the waterfall as well, there seems to be a huge emotional element at play, where whatever this thing is, you seem to want it, and you seem to want it badly. It feels like there is something that you almost feel like this deep calling towards, I want to say. And I also feel another confirmation with this bats card, which is kind of like the birds card in Lenormand. And I'm getting the message of, again, you trying to communicate, you trying to get some sort of intel, get information, whether you were doing that by, again, trying to do some spiritual practices, or whether you were actually doing that via communicating with other people, trying to get a sense of the lay of the land, or find out some information that would help you to piece things together, that would help you to understand, again, what it is that you are dealing with. I feel like with the amputation saw as well, there is this energy of feeling ready to actually eliminate certain things from your life or rid yourself of certain things that are simply like dead weight, that are not helpful to you regarding where it is that you were trying to go. It almost feels like you have outgrown something, and you know, it may be that you have outgrown certain situations or certain habits or certain mindsets or certain beliefs or values even, but it could also be that you have outgrown certain external things or physical things in your life, and so you could be feeling yourself growing more distant from certain people, certain relationships that you maybe used to play a bigger part in your role in your life at one point. Maybe you are starting to feel a distancing from some sort of work or calling that you used to do, and now you seem to be wanting to change gears or change direction completely, maybe, because again, there seems to be something that is a lot bigger, that is talking to you, that is calling you, that is pulling at your heartstrings again. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that. And we also have the Lamb card here. With this, again, there seems to be this innocence or this willingness to almost like become a student or become this very open-minded and playful and new and inexperienced person who, you know, is very much willing to learn and to go through the necessary steps to get where you want to get to. So there is something very pure, very earnest about this energy. And more than anything, this card is just giving me the energy that your intentions, these wishes that you have that are pushing you forward at this time and making you take these actions and making you question all of these things, they seem to be coming from a very pure place. So yeah, and also with both of these cards, I also feel like there's an energy of not being afraid to look foolish or not being afraid to like be very honest and be very forthright and very open about feeling insecure or feeling like you don't have a lot of experience in whatever this thing is that you are trying to fit into, or like even almost like confessing some of these maybe shortcomings or weaknesses that you have, being unafraid to be vulnerable and soft and very, again, like revealing about what it is that you are feeling, what it is that you want. It almost feels like you are making it very clear what it is that you want. So yeah, that is the energy that I'm feeling from these cards that are talking about your current situation. So if you resonated with these energies coming through, very likely this is your pile, and it is worth sticking around for some more, because now we are getting to the actual tarot card portion, which is going to be all about the next adventure that you are stepping into or embarking upon. And we are first going to look at what is the nature of your next adventure. Okay, wow. So we have two number 10 cards coming out. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and we also have the 10 of Wands that came out in reverse, with the 5 of Wands as the underlying energy. Now I'm also going to point out some of the zodiac signs in case you resonate with them, which may be further confirmation that this is your pile. So we have Jupiter coming through with the Wheel of Fortune, and that is associated with Pisces and Sagittarius. We also have the 10 of Wands, which is further Sagittarian energy, and the 5 of Wands is Leo. Okay, so for a lot of you, this next adventure that you are stepping into is definitely some sort of soul calling or something that you wish to pour your energy into, because we have all of this fiery energy coming out, which is indicating action and will and force and energy and motivation and drive. So it's definitely something that seems to excite you and something that is going to keep you going, or there is going to be some sort of momentum or push that you feel intrinsically. So I want to say that with both of these number 10s coming out, it definitely feels like you are closing out some sort of chapter or some sort of cycle in your life that, you know, you have kind of gotten everything out of that you needed to get out of. And now you are stepping into a new chapter or a new cycle, because the number 10s indicate an ending or a culmination of sorts. And we get back to number 1, right? Which is the beginning of a new chapter. With the Wheel of Fortune, it also feels like the nature of your next adventure is very much fortuitous, or it's going to be a lot easier than what you have encountered. Especially with the 10 of Wands coming out in reverse as well, it almost feels like there are going to be certain obstacles or certain challenges or roadblocks that are being removed from your path. It feels like you are going to be able to experience things running a bit more smoothly now, where you don't have to push as hard. There aren't as many setbacks or delays or these hoops that you need to jump through. It feels like things are starting to go a bit more smoothly, or at least this next chapter that you're stepping into is one where you can experience more ease. I also want to say though, that we have the the Five of Wands as the underlying energy here too. And with the 10 of Wands here, first off, in between these two cards is also an energy of the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands energy is coming through very, very strongly. And what this seems to indicate is that you are not going to have to push ahead on your own as much as you have had to do that in the past. With the 5 of Wands, there seems to be some sort of like friendly competition, or this almost this like group energy that is present here, where you have other people that are going to be a part of this next leg of your journey. And I feel like all of these people that are going to be a part of this thing that you are doing are all motivated. They are all driven. Now, the 5 of Wands does speak of like conflict or misunderstandings, or, you know, like a collision of wants or desires or things like that. But this almost feels like a very positive sort of clashing of energies or misunderstandings, because it feels like it's the sort of energy that pushes forward and that creates innovation or that creates change, right? Remember, we have the Wheel of Fortune here too. So change is almost like written in the cards here. And it feels like it's very much needed. It's a necessary sort of change. There is something that needs to be broken down, an old system or some sort of way of doing that isn't actually conducive to growth, or, you know, it's not benefiting anyone. There's something very outmoded or outdated, and it needs to be replaced here. And I also want to say with the 5 of Wands that I feel like you are going to have an opportunity to prove yourself to quite a lot of people. And I don't know why, but I am loving this 5 of Wands energy so much right now, which I normally never do. But I'm loving this energy right now because it just feels so right, and it feels like it's exactly what is needed. So it almost feels like a bit of a kick up your butt as well. So these energies or these other people that you are going to be sharing this journey with, or who are going to be a part of this thing that you are doing, they seem to be inspiring you or motivating you as well to do better, to reach higher, to think bigger, you know, to kind of get out of your comfort zone. Because whatever this thing is that you have done in the past, or that you have been doing up to this point that you have now outgrown, it feels like you almost got into a slump of some sort, or there was some sort of routine, or, you know, it feels like it was the same thing day in and day out, and you sort of got into this steady rhythm or this routine, and there wasn't that much development, there wasn't that much growth. And now, with these new energies coming into play, you seem to be starting to grow a lot more and kind of, again, reach new levels. And I love that we have the Wheel of Fortune here. I quickly want to come back to this card because I feel like Spirit has some really cool surprises in store for you, because the Wheel of Fortune always represents some sort of mystery, you know, things being out of your control and things being run by, again, by the fates, you know, that there is this universal or cosmic pattern to things that we are not privy to. But the Wheel of Fortune, especially when it comes out upright, is the universe working in your favor and almost leading you or guiding you to where you need to go. Anyway, so let's look at where is this adventure of yours that you are embarking upon taking you. Okay. We have the Emperor and the Eight of Coins with Temperance as the underlying energy. With Emperor energy, we have Aries coming out. We also have Virgo with the Eight of Coins. And with Temperance, we have more Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is officially the most important sign here. So if you have any significant placements in Sagittarius, this may very well be your reading. Okay, so I want to start off with the underlying energy. We have Temperance here. And what this is telling me is that you are going to be alchemizing your life. You are going to be turning something into gold. Yeah, there is some sort of potential that you are going to be fulfilling as a result of embarking on this journey. Again, with Temperance being here too, there is another confirmation that Spirit is very closely a part of this journey, and that this is some sort of divine orchestration at play. We have very, very significant major arcana cards coming out because this is specifically tied to your guardian angels or your higher self, whoever you resonate with. And they seem to be very much looking out for you, looking after you, and kind of supporting you in this. So it feels like you are almost aligning to some sort of higher vibration of your life, or your life journey, your life path as a whole. There's this notion of elevation that I feel. And also like fulfilling your life goal or something like that. Or really like starting to embody who you are meant to become in this lifetime. Now we also have the Emperor and the Eight of Coins, both of which are very, very powerful cards in the sense that they almost guarantee success, but I don't want that to sound like it's success that is being handed to you. This is success that you need to work for, but it's success that you, again, are almost guaranteed if you are willing to put in the effort and the work. And I love that we have the Emperor energy here because as this journey that you are stepping on is taking you to like all of this, you know, this group dynamic or this, again, this mixture of energies that seems to be pushing you out of your comfort zone. With the Emperor, it feels like you are going to be turning into this version of yourself that is so much more in its power, so much more in a courageous position, or so much more in command of what your life is turning out to be. For some reason, I'm feeling courage the strongest. There is this energy of feeling bold enough to make certain choices or certain moves and to really take accountability of your life and what you do with it. With the Eights of Coins as well, it seems like you are starting to like build something really meaningful, and you're going to start putting in this dedicated effort, this dedicated work to bringing about your dominion or this dream life of yours, right? This is you in your seat of power. And I absolutely love that. For some of you, it even feels like, again, definitely more of a specific message, but some of you, it feels like you are going to become an entrepreneur, or you're going to start working on your own terms. So there is this level of autonomy or independence that you are gaining, but again, it seems to be separate from this energy of doing something by yourself or doing something alone that was coming through from this previous section. This feels like you are doing things according to your own wishes or your own desires. Because again, with the Emperor, it's all about his will. It's all about his wishes and his vision, and he is in command. He is in control here. So, and I'm saying he because it's the Emperor, but obviously this is a gender neutral reading in that sense. It doesn't actually indicate gender as such, but it is a very masculine energy that you seem to be stepping into. And I also feel like some of you are definitely finding your place or finding this this knowing, feeling this sense of calm that you understand where you belong, or like what you need to do, what your mission is. There is this level of peace or calm that I also feel here. And this like single-minded focus, or this narrowing down of a path. So this may be especially a message for those of you who feel really lost or all over the place or directionless right now. There is a narrowing of focus here. But anyway, let's look at the last question as well. Let's look at what you can gain from embarking on this journey. Okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful energy coming through. We have the Four of Coins and the Ace of Swords with the King of Pentacles as the underlying energy. Again, let's look at the signs. We have quite a lot of earth sign energy coming through now. We have Capricorn with the Four of Coins and Taurus with the King of Pentacles. But we also have air sign energy with the Ace of Swords. That would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So I kind of feel like these cards are confirming the message that I was just finishing on with the Emperor energy. With both of these cards, the Four of Coins and the Ace of Swords, it definitely feels like what you are gaining from this journey or this next adventure is a piece of knowing where you belong. The Four of Coins is a very steady and secure and sort of set or locked in place type energy, especially when we're talking about material or physical contexts. So you could be gaining in like monetary means. So you could actually be led to a position or this place where you are able to accumulate certain wealth or certain financial security for yourself. But it can just simply talk about you feeling physically secure with where you are, who you are, what you are doing in life. So it can very much just be tied to this sort of root chakra energy. With the Ace of Swords, it's simply talking about an energy of clarity, of knowing something for certain and having a very clear-minded idea about things, having even this like breakthrough moment that can occur. And so that seems to very much be talking about, again, these sort of internal processes that you seem to be going through. And again, I also feel like there is some sort of very concrete idea or very concrete vision that you are going to sort of double down on, or that you're going to invest in wholeheartedly. With the Four of Coins here too, there is something that you seem to become very set on, or something that you want to hold on to or build upon. Right? Because with the Four of Coins, it also feels like there is already some sort of security that you have going on, which I feel like is going to be a result of this adventure of yours that you are starting to build. But I feel like it's going to be growing as well, because as the underlying energy, we have the King of Pentacles here. And again, this seems to be talking about your energy, and you seem to be coming through very, very masculine in this reading. So again, taking charge of your life, you know, taking this position of authority or position of power, expressing your will, expressing your desires, and taking charge of the conditions, taking charge of the circumstances that you find yourself in, so that you can make these dreams come true. And again, the King of Pentacles is a very physically and financially set and secure energy. So that is what you seem to be gaining from this journey. But also, I want to say as the last thing, you seem to be gaining a sense of this knowing that you are strong enough and that you are safe enough to take charge of any situation that you don't like. It almost feels like, again, with both of these cards, it feels like you are realizing that there are a lot of things that you can actually control, and a lot of things that you can impact or influence, and you can make certain things that you feel stuck in, or that, you know, you feel boxed in by, or like, again, if you want to change certain situations that you feel that are somehow like restricting, or that you, again, are limited by, there seems to be this knowing that you actually are so much more capable than you realize. And I feel like it's, again, as a result of you proving to yourself that you can actually be the person that you want to be. Now, pile number 1, let's close the reading out with some advice messages from Spirit, and let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Okay. So, the first card out is don't rush yourself. There's joy in the journey. Yeah, I'm being reminded of the Wheel of Fortune card that came out, because it does seem like there is going to be some quite fun and unexpected surprises that Spirit has in store for you. And they may not be like necessarily massive, life-changing or earthquake-bringing sort of surprises, but it just feels like there are going to be these moments or these instances that you didn't see coming, and I feel like you are going to really enjoy them. So again, I love that Spirit is reminding you to kind of, you know, take stock of where you are and yeah, not rush yourself too much. And the other message that you have is what you're currently going through is fulfilling a purpose. I love this message so much. It's actually one of my favorite cards in this whole deck, because again, it's reminding you that there is a bigger plan. It's full of hope and it's full of encouragement as well. You know, there is something very consoling about this message, especially if you were going through certain energies of, you know, like challenge or things where you feel a bit disheartened, or where you may feel like, you know, like you are not where you want to be. This message is just such a soothing one. At the bottom of the deck, we have make time for meaningful contemplation. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this card is Spirit's way of saying to take some time out and to connect to these bigger energies, which I feel like you are doing anyway. So I don't know. That just may be a message to keep doing what you're doing. But pile number 1, this is it. I am going to end this reading here. I really love these messages that came through in this reading. I hope that you are excited as well. And if you are here, by the way, if you are still watching this reading right now, leave me a skate emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you are still here. I hope that a skate emoji exists, but you know, anyway, if it doesn't, then I'll leave something else on the screen. But yeah, I would love to see you in the comment section and see who it is that actually made it to the whole, or made it through the whole reading and to the end of this reading. And yeah, I just love connecting with you in there. So I hope to see you in the comment section. And I really hope that you found these messages useful, helpful, resonating, or inspirational, or even just entertaining. I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I am so thrilled that you're watching this reading, and I want to thank you for being here, for sharing your beautiful energy, and also for any support that you have shown me or this channel. But let's get straight to it. So we have some pre-prepared oracle cards and we're going to take a look at those in just a bit, because first I want to see what I am picking up on from this card intuitively, as always. So pile number 2, you chose Dance the Rainbow, which I'm not sure is actually even a sentence, but you can let me know in the comment section. It just sounds grammatically wrong. I love to have beauty in my life. Now, intuitively, what I'm feeling here is that you seem to be in quite an indulgent energy, pile 2. It feels like you are trying to make yourself feel as good as possible. And that may mean that you are doing some, what's it called? Like shopping therapy, or I know that's not what it's called, but I can't think of the actual expression. But it feels like you are, you know, splurging on maybe nice things, maybe things that smell good, maybe things that, you know, make you feel good or better about yourself. Something to do with like pampering yourself or creating a more cozy space for you at home. Maybe you are, decorating or looking for certain accessories to spruce up the room, or maybe like it's specifically your bedroom. There seems to be something that you are trying to do to make yourself feel more cozy. Again, this could even be related to food. Maybe you are, splurging more on food that tastes good or food that makes you feel really happy or that brings some sort of nostalgia to you. Maybe you are going out to restaurants more or catching up with friends, or maybe you are just making these like cozy nights at home where you are sitting under a blanket or, just watching some Netflix and just watching or binging your favorite TV shows or movies, or maybe you are even watching movies that you used to love as a kid or something, again, that like reminds you of a time where things, were a bit more easy or more carefree. There's something about nostalgia that I keep feeling from this card for some reason. But regardless, it just feels like you are trying to create the most luxurious and feel good and supportive and nurturing energy for yourself as you possibly can at this time. And I'm also being drawn to the number 5 for some reason, which is making me think that you are in this energy of wanting to change or wanting to, again, spruce something up. Like, especially if something has been the same way for a long time. And it does seem to be talking about your surroundings, or maybe even your sense of style, or, how you do your makeup or how you do your hair, or going to manicures, going to pedicures, like allowing yourself to be pampered in that way, doing some refreshes to your appearance or that type of thing. There is some sort of energy of like wanting to bubble yourself or wanting to like create this little bubble of indulgence where you can almost shelter yourself from like all the craziness that is happening outside in the real world. And so this feels like a space of recuperation that you are sort of putting a lot of effort into. But anyway, as I said, this is just the intuitive part. So if you are still a bit unsure whether this is actually your pile, then stick around for the oracle cards, because as you listen to these messages about the current situation that you are in right now, as you listen to these messages, it should be a lot easier for you to understand whether this is your pile or not. So we have the Tree, Lock, Recover, Charm, and the Bear. So pile number 2, there are quite a few cards here that are tying me back to this energy of nostalgia that kept coming up. We have this Tree card, we have the Recycle card, and we also have the Bear card, which I feel a bit of a different energy from, but anyway, it kind of still plays into this dynamic. So especially with these 2 cards though, with the Tree and the Recover and Recycle energy, it feels like there is some sort of sensation that you are trying to re-establish, something that you're trying to bring back. And the way that the Bear plays into this is a feeling of safety or security. And again, it almost feels like there is this level of protection that you want to envelop yourself in. The Bear can also talk about taking charge or doing some necessary things, taking necessary action in order to do what needs to be done. And again, I feel like you are doing this thing, you are indulging or trying to bring about the sense of safety for you because there is this deeper urge within you. And also with the Tree, there is this notion of yes, there is a connection to your ancestors and your roots and your background, your family lineage or your childhood home or where you grew up. So that is where the link to nostalgia also comes from. But the Tree is also tying me back to some sort of deeper or stronger structures or something like that. There's something about growing or wanting to develop something, wanting to evolve something beyond what it has been. So especially as it is next to this luck card, again, this situation that you seem to be in right now is one of like things potentially, you know, feeling kind of constricting, or feeling a bit like you need some sort of release, or you need some sort of feel-good energy to come from somewhere. And so that's why I feel like you were trying to bring about this sense of security or this safety, but it seems to be, again, because of things that feel very oppressing on the outside. I'm also getting the message here with the tree. For some reason, the tree feels like a very, very important card here. I'm getting the message with the tree that there is something that you're trying to grow into the future as well, something that you're trying to nourish so that you would have more of it as time goes on. And I feel like you are, it's sort of tying into this whole energy of you trying to make your like living area, or where you are at, like the surrounding energies that are around you, you're trying to make those as like nice and comfortable and supportive as possible, so that it would be good for you to spend time there. Now, I know that I have been talking about your like surrounding energies, which can very literally talk about your home or your living area, but it can also talk about the energies that you are surrounded with, in the sense of the people that you are spending the most amount of time with, your family relations if you live with family, or your relationship with your partner if you have a significant other, or your children, right, if you have them. Creating a safe haven for yourself, I want to say, and making it something that is long lasting, something that is sustainable. Now, we also have the charm card here. This card is making me think of something that has meaning to you, or something that you feel is like a good luck omen, or something like that. And I feel like because we have this recycle or recover energy here too, right next to this energy that you're trying to recreate has something to do with something that used to mean a lot to you, or something that you believe to bring good fortune, or something that maybe has something to do with certain superstitions that you have. Maybe that is more of a specific message, but it feels like some of you watching have really specific superstitions, and that you seem to be incorporating those into the safe haven of yours to bring in like better energy or better karma or something like that. But in a more broad sense, it just feels like, again, this pull of energy towards how some things used to be when things were easier, or when you were a child, or when you felt comforted, or when you felt nurtured or cared for, or something like that. Like you're trying to re-establish that sort of energy, revitalize that energy by bringing about something that, again, has significant meaning to you. So yeah, that is the main energy that is coming through here, pile number 2. If you resonated with this story, if these energies make sense to you, then definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the fun part. We get to the tarot cards, which are going to tell us about this next adventure that you are embarking upon. And let's look more closely at the nature of your next adventure. Okay. Right, we have the Ace of Wands that came out in reverse. We have the Six of Coins and the Fool that is at the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to point out the zodiac signs that are coming through these tarot cards in case you resonate with the signs coming through. It may be further confirmation that this is your pile. If you don't resonate with them, that's fine too. But the heaviest sign here is definitely Aquarius with the Fool. But I also associate it with Aries. So Aries or Aquarius may be significant. With the Six of Pentacles, we have some Taurian energy coming through. And the Ace of Wands is simply fire sign energy. So Aries, again, Leo or Sagittarius may be significant. Okay, so pile number 2, I want to start off with the underlying energy, which is the Fool. Now, as a major arcana card, this is a big deal, because this is talking about some sort of bigger life lesson or chapter in your life, something that is more underlying rather than this day-to-day thing. And with the Fool, you are definitely going to embark on a journey that you have never been on before. So this is a completely new thing for you. And there is going to be a lot of exciting things coming up. With the Fool, it always brings a sense of enthusiasm and open-mindedness and joy. It's like every single door is open to you. You have no clue where you are going to be led, but it is definitely a journey that is going to take you to places. But this is a fresh new beginning. This is like a whole new leaf that you are turning. And the thing I want to say though is that there also seems to be this childlike enthusiasm or excitement that is embedded into this next adventure of yours, which is interesting that we have been talking about all of this nostalgia and you trying to recreate something from your past or from your childhood, and now we have a lot of this very childlike, innocent energy coming through with the Fool as well. Now, we also have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Six of Coins. And the main energy that I'm feeling with these two cards is that you are going to have the opportunity to make use of some sort of lost opportunity, or maybe there is some sort of opportunity that is like coming back around, or something that you feel didn't quite take off, or that you didn't get to experience, or maybe you feel like you missed out on something, or you missed your chance with something, or maybe it was even just an idea or some sort of endeavor that you thought of doing but that you didn't ever actually take action on or actualize. And with the Six of Pentacles, it just feels like there is another chance for that, or like it's coming back around. Maybe it's coming back in a different form, because again, remember, we have the Fool here. So clearly this is going to be in completely new packaging, in the sense that it's not going to be quite recognizable, or it's going to feel like a completely new thing. But I mean, the Ace of Cups behind the Fool is also an indication that there's going to be something that like really lights you up or brings you a sense of fulfillment. Like there is a lot of potential in this new beginning. And with all of this Ace energy and the Fool energy, it is clearly a very exciting sort of new beginning that you are going to be embarking upon. Now, it also feels like this adventure is going to give you the opportunity to level something out, or to create a balance of some kind. Maybe this is even an opportunity to get certain support in order to do something that you maybe have wanted to do but that you haven't been able to do. Because again, with the Ace of Wands, it feels like there is something about a past endeavor or a past idea or an opportunity or something that was presented to you or something that you thought of at one point but that you didn't actually do anything with. So whatever this thing is, it didn't really take off. It feels like this next adventure has to do with you being able to like redeem yourself or experience that, but in a new way. So it feels like you're still going to get the experience that you would have gotten had you taken that chance to begin with. It's just going to show up in a different form. And I know I've said the same message like 5 times now, but yeah, I don't know why it feels really significant. So anyway, let's move on. Let's look at where is this adventure taking you. Wow. Okay, yeah, wow. We have 2 number 2 cards coming out with the 7 of Swords as the underlying energy. So we have the 2 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. Sign-wise, we have Aries and Cancer. And we also have Aquarius, once again, with the 7 of Swords. Now, I want to start off with the underlying energy with the 7 of Swords, because I know that this card usually, can give people the heebie-jeebies or freak them out a bit. It doesn't have the best rep, this card, but I actually feel that this adventure is going to take you to a place where, again, you have the chance to do something differently than you did the last time. Because the 7 of Swords is an energy of using a tactical approach or using strategy in order to gain an upper hand or, you know, outsmart or be more clever than the other person, or, and in this case, I feel like than you were before, like than the past you. It seems to be talking about you, again, getting a do-over of some kind. And I love that we get the 2 twos here as well, because these 2 cards are giving me a feeling of you reaching a place where you can actually find some really solid connection. Now, this may be with another person or with other people, but it can also be within yourself. So where you find this sort of sense of fulfillment or sense of equilibrium, because the 2 of Wands is in essence an energy of like planning or looking ahead and coming up with, again, a strategy or a vision, coming up with an idea of what you want to pursue next. So there is a level of freedom that is embedded in this 2 of Wands card, as well as making a decision. But with the 2 of Cups here, this is about feeling seen. This is about feeling understood, or like there is reciprocal and balanced energy. And with the 2 twos coming out here, it definitely feels like you are going to be led to some decisions. There are definitely decisions to be made. But I feel like, again, you have the chance to like step out of your comfort zone and actually reach some sort of emotional fulfillment or emotional gratification as a result of pushing yourself out of this comfort zone, or taking these scary steps that you maybe, you know, were too afraid or that you didn't have the chance to take in the past. And I also find it very interesting that we had the Ace of Wands here, we have the 2 of Wands here now, and if you remember in the previous section we had the Ace of Cups behind the Fool card, and now we have the 2 of Cups here. So it definitely feels like this new beginning or this potential, this opportunity is going to take you to the next level in some sense. You have the opportunity to connect or to build upon this opportunity and like make something more of it. Anyway, let's also look at what you can gain from this journey. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting some repeat cards from the first pile. So if you were drawn to the first pile, maybe there are certain messages there for you as well. But we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles as the underlying energy. Sign-wise, we have Pisces and Sagittarius with the Wheel of Fortune. We also have Leo with the Five of Wands, and we have Capricorn with the Queen of Pentacles. So the main thing here, I feel, is a sense of pride. Now, I want to actually start with the underlying energy because a sense of pride is what I'm feeling with the Queen of Pentacles for some reason, and I have never felt that, I think. But yeah, this is definitely giving me a vibe of like feeling better about yourself, or getting to a place where you actually feel proud, or where you feel good about the choices that you have made. And the reason why this is because with the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Wands, it feels like you actually have the opportunity to fight for what it is that you want, to fight for this like ultimate dream, or like to risk it for some sort of massive reward. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, this is like luck being on your side, but this is also a very chaotic sort of energy, because you just don't know what is going to happen next. This is the epitome of like divine intervention or fate or karma or destiny, right? And we don't have any control over that. And so that's why I feel like there is this energy of like everything that you want, or playing into the unknown, stepping courageously into not knowing what life is going to bring you, or where this situation is going to end up, but like taking the risk anyway, even though you don't know what is going to happen exactly. And I feel like it may be the reason why you turned down this offer before, or why things didn't go anywhere before, because there was this fear of the unknown and of not having control over the situation and not knowing where things are going to go. And so maybe there was this desire or this urge to play it safe, but now it feels like you are not going to do that anymore. And as you sort of push yourself, as you fight for what you want, as you risk something, whether it is your pride, whether it is your sense of self, whether it is something like actually physical, right? Like going after this thing again or taking a chance on something, it feels like you are willing to risk it for the biscuit. And as a result of that, again, you seem to be ending up in this Queen of Pentacles energy. And even though it's coming through feminine, don't get stuck in the gender aspect. This is simply a very, very confident sort of place to be, where you value yourself, you value who you are, and you value what you have. And I feel like this pentacle here seems to indicate this opportunity that you are presented with turning into something material, or something that you actually value and put a lot of effort in as time goes on as well. So I feel like you really have the chance to build something here. Something meaningful. Anyway, pile number 2. Let's move on. Let's close the reading out with some advice messages from Spirit, because that was all that was coming through from the tarot cards here. And yeah, let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, and we have 2. So the first card that you have is, now is the perfect time to turn your wish into a reality. Oh my goodness. I love that this is here, because again, it just seems to reiterate the same message that we have been talking about. And you being given a second chance, or you being offered the chance to turn a wish into reality. So yeah, I love that for you. We also have, setting clear boundaries is an act of self-love. So if you need to set boundaries with certain people, if you need to maybe even set boundaries with yourself in certain things, like promising yourself that you were going to do something, but then not doing it in the end. So that may also be, you know, like kind of crossing your own boundaries, or letting yourself down, or that type of thing. And I feel like this message here is mainly in order for you to like build upon this sense of confidence, which I feel for some reason that you really need. Oh, and I just noticed that we also have a rainbow on this card here too. So, you know, maybe the rainbow is a symbol of special import for you. At the bottom of the deck, we have, you are growing into the person you are meant to be. Oh my goodness. I love this message for you, pile number 2. I absolutely do. You are growing into the person you are meant to be. So as you are going through this whole journey, as you are embarking on this adventure, which seems to be maybe more of a specific sort, it feels like, again, Spirit is saying that you are going to be getting the experiences that you need to get, right? Regardless of you sort of missing the train the first time around or something like that. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself over and over again. I know that it can be super, super annoying. So I'm just going to keep it short, or, you know, quote unquote short. Anyway, pile number 2, thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope that you had fun listening to these messages and that it made sense to you. If you are still here, by the way, if you are still watching this reading, please leave me a rainbow emoji in the comment section. I mean, obviously, right? Because it's like, what else? It is such an important symbol here. So yeah, leave me a rainbow emoji down in the comment section, so that I know that you watched this thing all the way through and that this spoke to you, or that it made sense to you. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insights, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so happy that you are here, that you have chosen to spend this time with me. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you also for any support that you have shown me and this channel. But let's get into it. So you chose this card. We also have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we are going to take a look at in just a bit, because first I want to see what I'm picking up on intuitively from this card that you chose, as is always the case in my readings. So pile 3, you chose Candle Magic. Everyday things get better. And the energy that I'm picking up on from this card is one of daily rituals or daily practices of some kind. There seems to be this energy of certain routines that you have in place and that you do day by day in order to start bettering your life somehow. It feels very proactive, this energy, rather than just hoping for things to get better on their own. Like there is an element of hope here as well. You seem to have faith and this like hopeful attitude that your life can improve, that things can get better than they are. But there is also this very realistic sort of approach that I feel here. So it almost seems like this hand-in-hand combination of like manifesting something, you know, like spiritually or mentally putting in energy in order to call forth what you want to see in your life, but also taking physical action, making certain moves or doing like little things, tweaking your behavior, or you know, starting to take up better practices, and again putting in place certain routines that would help you to get to this better vision for your life, whatever that is for you specifically. I feel like you are in this massive energy of learning right now, because I'm looking at the number here, number 22, which is a master number. And it feels like there is something about this leg of your journey, of your life journey, that you are starting to master. Some sort of challenge or something that has maybe been hindering you for a long time, that you are now really taking charge of, or that you are trying to set right. And this may be more of a specific message, but some of you seem to actually be recuperating from something that happened. Maybe you were out of sorts health-wise. Maybe you actually lived through something like traumatic, or maybe it was just something that really made you question yourself or have doubts about your life choices up to this point. It feels like there may have been something like shocking or jarring or simply challenging that you have gone through. Some of you, at least. This is more likely, again, more of a specific message. So some of you definitely went through something challenging, and now it feels like you are coming out of it slowly but surely, and like doing these little things, or maybe even making these little to-do lists day by day, like things that you could tick off or like cross out that you have done, so that you could build this sense of accomplishment in yourself again, so that you could give yourself these little wins in order to again build up your confidence again, or build up your sense of self, or the self-assuredness that you used to have before whatever this thing was that like kind of knocked you to your knees. But again, as I said, that was more of a specific message. And anyway, this is just the intuitive part, right? So if you are somewhat unsure whether this is your pile or not, then stay tuned for the oracle card messages as well, because these are going to paint us a picture of what it is that you are currently dealing with. What is your current situation? So as you listen to these messages, hopefully it will make more sense whether this is your pile or not. We have the clock. We have embalming fluid, moon and emotions, lantern, and the coin. So pile number 3, I want to start off with the first card here, which is the clock. And it does feel like this current situation that you are in is one that does require time. It feels like it is a bit of a slower process that you are in right now. I'm also being drawn to the moons, the two crescent moons that are on this image. And we also have a crescent moon on this emotions card as well. And I feel like it is a very emotional time for you, or there is a lot of feelings that are being stirred up in you and that you are sort of grappling with. But again, with this clock, it feels like there is something about like time healing all wounds, or this whole process getting easier or getting better day by day. I also want to say, because we have this embalming fluid here, I feel with the clock that you are trying to move further away from something that, again, has been like stuck or has been a certain way for some time, something that is very much solidified in your memory, I want to say. The embalming fluid is talking about something being preserved or being made like more permanent. And, you know, even though it's something that should be released or something that has kind of done its time. And there is this weird energy of trying to move further away or trying to transform something in time. And again, realizing it's almost like you know that this process is a very lengthy one and it's a slow one, but it feels like you are taking it on anyway. Like, it almost feels like you don't really have any other option here, because you can't stay or you can't stick around in this energy, whatever this is, that has been in this stuck energy, or that has been this way that it has been. Again, for some of you, this is simply like some sort of habit or some sort of personality trait that is actually, you know, maybe doing you more harm than good, or something that was maybe like a trauma response, something that you developed as a form of like self-preservation or a protective mechanism. But now it feels like you don't actually need that anymore. And now it's something that is hindering you, something that is either keeping you like isolated or keeping you too like closed off or too unreachable or something like that. And it's time to like get rid of that trait, or it's time to get rid of that wall. And I feel like because you know that this is a long process, it's something that you may have been postponing or like pushing away or wanting to like delay or wanting to like not get into. But now it feels like, for whatever reason, now you feel ready to take this thing on, to take on this transformation process. And again, it may cause certain like memories or certain feelings or certain emotive associations that you have to emerge, to crop up. And it does seem like it is emotionally quite a taxing time for you right now, pile 3, because we also have this lantern here. And it's tying me back to all of these candles that were on the card. So it feels like you are shedding light on something that has been in the shadows for quite a long time. And as you are bringing things to light, which also kind of reminds me of the hermit energy. So you could be doing all of this more so by yourself or within yourself, where other people don't even know that this is something that you are dealing with inside your mind or just within yourself. But for others of you, you could actually be quite literally isolated or like cut away from people. And as you are shining light on these things, on these shadows, it seems like you are learning quite a lot of valuable information, because we have the coin energy here too. So again, it feels like whatever this is that you are doing, all of these routines, all of these practices that you have in place, everything that you are doing day by day to get through this period and to sort of build yourself up, it feels like it has some sort of deeper significance. There is a lot of value or some sort of treasure that is hidden in this process that you are doing. And I also feel like this is more broadly, or I should say like more metaphorically, talking about the treasure that you are going to find at the end of this journey. Like there's this end goal that you have in mind, something of value that you're trying to get out of going through this process. And And again, for some of you, it is simply about like finding some sort of sense of self-worth, or finding some sort of meaning, finding purpose again, something to keep you going, something to make you want to strive for new things, or to make you feel more alive again, right? Because with lantern, this can also talk about the internal spark within you, something that would like light a fire in your belly, so to say. So yeah, pile number 3, that is the main energy that is coming through from these cards. If you resonated with these messages and you recognized yourself and your current situation in this, then this is very likely your reading, and definitely stay tuned, because now we get to the most fun and exciting part. We're going to look at some tarot cards next, and we're going to see what is the nature of your next adventure. Okay, so we have more cards than anticipated, but we are taking all of them. We have the King of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the underlying energy is the Sun. Sorry, you can't see it. The Sun. So I'm going to point out some of the zodiac signs in case you resonate with them. Maybe you recognize them around you, or maybe you resonate with them yourself. And if that's the case, it may be further confirmation that you are actually watching the right pile. So the signs coming through here, the heaviest, are Leo with the Sun, but we also have any other fire sign. So Aries or Sagittarius could also be significant. And we have Taurus coming through heavily with the King of Pentacles, and Capricorn with the Four of Pentacles. But earth signs in general could be significant, so Virgo as well, especially because of the Hermit energy that was coming through here. So pile number 3, very shortly, the nature of your next adventure is one of freedom and exploration, because we have the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles that are coming through here, and both of these cards are very much talking about fixed energy, something that is quite steady, stable, structured, and like safe, but it can also become a bit too walled off or too boxed in if it gets to the extreme, especially so with the Four of Pentacles here. So I do feel that on the one hand, this is simply talking about this kind of status quo, or how things have always been, and you may be hiding a bit in your comfort zone. And with the Page of Wands here, that seems to be the energy of you embarking on this new sort of exploration or this new journey. The Page of Wands indicates that there could be some sort of like offer or an opportunity of some kind for you to venture out into the world, or to, it may not be as broad as that. It doesn't actually indicate that you have to go traveling or something like that, but it can simply be you like getting out of the house more, or getting out of your usual day-to-day routine, where you maybe start trying different things, or visiting different places that you haven't been to before, taking a different route to work, or, you know, putting yourself in like these new situations. Because whatever the case, it definitely feels like your next adventure is one of liberation. We also have the Sun card here that is at the bottom of the deck, and the Sun card is the happiest card in the whole tarot. And this is indicating that you are going to be set free. You are going to be getting into this energy where you feel a lot more vibrant and jubilant. Now, the thing about the Sun is that the reason why this child is so free, not just because of the horse and everything, but it's because they are actually in a very safe space, right? There is a wall behind them with all of these sunflowers. So they are actually safe, physically safe as well, and they feel free to let loose, to be who they are, or to just, you know, express themselves as freely as they want, which is also very much a Sun sort of thing. And so it feels like this new adventure that you're stepping into, which is again like life kind of taking you, or maybe even somewhat like pushing you out of this comfort zone. It seems to be opening up this whole new world to you. And again, it feels like you are opening up in a way where you feel safe or secure enough to do that. There's also something about like a level of innocence or a level of trusting the world or trusting spirit, trusting your life that is occurring here with the Sun as well. Because with the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, this feels very like closed off or reserved, or like very much playing it safe and wanting to have a lot of control over things, wanting to have physical control over things. But the Page of Wands is almost like taking you out of that, especially with the Sun too. It's having a lot more faith that things are going to work out, that things can work out, that, you know, the universe is in essence abundant, and that things are going to be turning around for you for the better. Again, there is this returning of joy, of hope, of optimism, of possibility. All of those keywords are associated with the Page of Wands and the Sun. So I almost want to say that your life force is returning. And again, because we have the Page energy here, it seems to come out of these little steps that you are taking, because pages are initiatory or like beginning energies. They are talking about starting something from zero, from like the ground up, and just seeing where life takes you, seeing what happens when you do something, especially with the Page of Wands, which is in essence the page of action, right? The page of inspiration, of following a certain impulse or following certain passions or drives or motivations and inspirations, and building up the courage to go after bigger and more expansive things as you sort of take these little baby steps and experience joy again, or experience fulfillment again. And yeah, it's just a beautiful energy of being set free and being more courageous to allow certain walls to come down, to almost like re-enter life again, I want to say. Now, let's also see, where is this adventure taking you? Okay, interesting. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups that is coming out. So let me just put these cards together like so. And we also have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So we have some major arcana cards coming through. And sorry, I want to get the cards in place first. And the signs that are coming through here, we have Sagittarius and Pisces with Wheel of Fortune. We also have Scorpio with the Five of Cups, and we have Gemini with the Lovers. So I want to start off with the Five of Cups, because this is a huge confirmation for me that there is something that you have experienced here, something that has been very difficult to go through, and something that has been very difficult to come out of. It's, you know, the Five of Cups is similar to the Three of Swords in energy, in the sense that both are painful and both are causing emotional upheaval, but the Three of Swords is very much like a present energy. It's one that fades away more quickly. The Five of Cups is talking about the pain that lingers. It's something that has already happened, possibly quite a while ago, but it's difficult to actually come out of that energy. And I love that we have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune has been making an appearance, and I love that we get that Wheel of Fortune energy, that beautiful Jupiterian energy, which always heralds a time of change. And especially when the Wheel of Fortune comes out upright, it is talking about things starting to turn around for the better, things starting to kind of move along again, and maybe even getting some beautiful surprises from the universe. I also love that, you know, the Five of Cups has these two cups that are upright behind this figure that is obviously very, very much like in grief, or, you know, having a difficult time. Because these two cups are saying that, like, regardless of how difficult it is to accept these losses, there is, like, it's not all lost. There is still something beautiful to take away, or to something beautiful that remains. And there is opportunity here. And again, I find it even more interesting that we have the Two of Cups here, which obviously, if you are familiar with tarot, the Two of Cups is a card of unity. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. And so clearly this whole journey, this experience is taking you to a place where you have the opportunity to like connect again, whether it is connect to another person, whether it is connect to some sort of ideal or life philosophy or some sort of mindset, or whether it is to connect to your true sense of self or a new version of yourself, right? This is simply talking about feeling connected, feeling like you are not alone. And it almost feels like after a time of grappling with some difficult emotions, it's going to it's going to be changing the tide or turning the table for you, where you finally start feeling like yourself again, or maybe even better than you have ever felt, I want to say. And I also feel like whatever this emotion is, or this feeling that has been keeping you stuck, or that has been stuck, right? Something that has been almost like solidified, something that you haven't been able to shake. It feels like you are going to be able to shake it, or at least like start feeling its impact or its influence a lot less. And for some of you, especially if you are looking for that sort of thing, with all of these energies pointing to some sort of union, it could be that this new sort of version of you, or this expansive version of you that you are stepping into, is going to take you to someone who is a very like-minded person, or someone who is a great match to you. Now, it doesn't have to be a romantic connection per se. It can simply be a friend or a confidant, or someone like someone who can support you, and that you can kind of support each other. But it feels like there is a chance for you to actually be brought together with someone who can have a very positive effect on your life, and almost again help you to regain a sense of faith in the universe, or faith in like things working out. Let's look at the final question too. What is it that you can gain from this journey, from going on this adventure? Okay. We have Justice and the King of Swords in reverse, with the Six of Coins as the underlying energy. Sign-wise, we have Libra with Justice, Aquarius with the King of Swords, and Taurus with the Six of Pentacles. So I actually want to say that you seem to be gaining this correction of some sort of false belief, or something to do with your mindset, with the King of Swords here, that has been keeping you stuck or stagnant, or that has been working against you. Because I do feel that the King of Swords is talking about your energy, just as I was feeling the King of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles talking about your energy. You seem to be coming through in a very masculine energy, and it doesn't actually indicate your gender in any way. It's just coming through more like forceful, or more in control, or yearning for more in control, like that sort of energy. And with Justice, as I said, this is a correction of that sort of energy, or maybe even a realization, seeing some sort of clarity or the truth of the matter, and setting certain self-destructive beliefs or self-monologues, setting those right. Because justice is all about doing what is right. It's about setting things right. It's about correcting what is out of balance and re-establishing a sense of equilibrium. Now, I also love that we have this Six of Pentacles as the underlying energy, because it feels like it's talking about you opening yourself up to other people again. Like, that is really what I'm feeling. It may, of course, talk about you opening up to people helping you, or reaching out for like someone, becoming a bit more vulnerable in that sense, or just, establishing certain relationships where you are able to share or have this like back and forth, this give and receive energy with someone. But more so than all of that, I simply feel that this is about you opening yourself up to other people. And that is really the main thing that you seem to be gaining from this whole journey. especially because with the King of Swords, it just feels like there is something about your mindset or something that has been going on in your head, some sort of thought processes or beliefs that have kept people out or that have kept people at arm's length. Yeah, it just feels like whatever that mindset was, it hasn't really been doing you any favors. Even though, again, it feels like it was serving a purpose at some point. Maybe it used to keep you safe or it used to protect you in some sense, but now it feels like it's hindering you. And I also feel a message of more kindness coming through and possibly even more like diplomacy. Because, and this is definitely more of a specific message, but I just need to point it out in case someone resonates with this. It feels like some of you, and I feel like you will know instantly that this is talking about you. Some of you have been a bit more harsh with your expression, with your words, than you maybe like to be. And you may have burned quite a lot of bridges as a result of, you know, maybe like lashing out, but lashing out in a very pointed manner, like using certain words to hurt very intentionally, I feel. Using words as a weapon, I almost want to say. And so you may have done that intentionally to, again, like push people away or to not allow anyone to really get close to you or to see the real you. And I feel like this whole journey will allow you to like eliminate that voice in you or eliminate that trait in you that forced you to act in that way or to lash out from a place of pain or hurt that you yourself were experiencing. So again, there's like this energy of self-sabotage that some of you, or I actually want to say most of you have potentially experienced here. That is something that you are correcting or maybe even cutting out entirely with justice. So yeah, wow, pile number 3. These were all of the messages that were coming through from the tarot cards, but let's also see what sort of advice we can get from Spirit to close this reading out. So what is it that you need to know from Spirit? Okay. So, okay, let me get the cards in place because I always manage to mess those up. Anyway, the first card out is rest and recuperate to continue making progress. So see, again, continue making progress. It feels loaded with the notion that this whole journey, this coming out of your shell or again, healing or trying to, you know, get through the whole thing, it's taking time. It's a lengthy one. So take it easy on yourself, pile number 3, and allow yourself these times to simply be, because I do feel a sense of urgency here, right? Again, with the clock and with everything that we were talking about before, there is a sense of urgency of wanting to get better, wanting to come out of this place that you have been in, but it does seem like you kind of need to pace yourself in this one. And we also have, don't wait for luck to find you. Go out and make your own. Oh my goodness. I mean, pile number 3, I love this message for you because it's making me think on the Page of Wands energy and the Sun energy that we were talking about regarding this next adventure. And it does feel like there are going to be these inklings where like the universe is kind of like pushing you ahead as well, but mainly this seems to be your own doing, this like going out there and exploring and giving things a shot and really opening up your mind and, you know, yourself, your heart to life surprising you, taking these baby steps. So again, as it came through from the intuitive card already, it seems like you already are doing certain things in order to push yourself out of this stuck place. And this message here is simply the universe or Spirit reinforcing that message and just kind of confirming how important it is. You know, that you are taking things into your own hands. Again, we get back to the masculine energy at play here too, where you were coming through in a very masculine sort of way, and it is all about going out there and making things happen and expressing your will and putting yourself out into the physical world, right? Not waiting around for things to come to you, but going out there and making them happen. So yeah, beautiful. And at the bottom of the deck we have seek comfort in those who are close to your heart. So it does seem like there could be certain people around you who are there regardless of you maybe trying to push them away or again keep them at arm's length. So Spirit seems to really encourage you again to open up to them and really show them that you care, or you know, maybe allowing some of those vulnerabilities to come through. And I do realize that at this time when you are watching this reading and where you seem to be very much at the beginning of this journey, or you know, at the beginning stages at least, it could be very difficult to do, but Spirit seems to be encouraging you to go down that path, to embark on this journey of exploration, of freedom, of finding this new sense of joy for life. And it feels like it's going to be a super rewarding one, pile number 3. So I hope that these messages really spoke to you, or that they encouraged you, or, you know, gave you something useful, at least something to think about. Food for thought, so to say. And if that's the case, by the way, if you resonated with these messages, if you recognized yourself in this, and these messages did give you something to think about, let me see. Leave me a candle emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you are the real deal, that you watched this thing all the way through, and that you actually got something from these messages. It would mean so much to me to see you in the comment section. I love connecting with you in the comment section, so please let me know. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.